What if the greatest question wasn't why, but who? What if the journey of Job, in his profound suffering and relentless questioning, was less about understanding the reasons for his plight and more about surrendering to the wisdom of the divine? The Book of Job, an ancient tome of wisdom, presents a discourse around the nature of human suffering. At its center is Job, a righteous man beset by unimaginable affliction. His friends, philosophers in their own right, gather around him, each offering their interpretation of his suffering. One friend scrutinizes Job's life through the lens of human experience, seeking to trace the cause of his suffering back to his actions. Another friend inspects the concept of merit, probing whether Job's suffering is the result of some hidden wrongdoing. Yet Job, steadfast in his righteousness, maintains his innocence. Then, from the swirling chaos, a divine voice emerges. God, who had remained silent up until this point, questions Job's understanding with an authority that reverberates through the ages. "Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth?" he asks. "Who determined its dimensions and stretched out the surveying line? What supports its foundations, and who laid its cornerstone?" Job is reminded of the morning stars singing and the angels rejoicing at creation's birth. And so Job, standing before the vastness of God's wisdom, realizes his insignificance. He withdraws his bold claims and sits in dust and ashes, humbled before the Almighty. The question of why remains unanswered, but Job's heart shifts from defiance to reverence. The questions of faith reverberate throughout Scripture. When God called Abraham to an unknown land, the question wasn't why, but where. When Sarah, beyond her childbearing years, wondered how she could conceive, God's answer defied natural laws. And Abraham, living in tents, found himself awaiting not if, but when God's promise would be fulfilled. God's silence often confounds us. Why doesn't he answer our why questions directly? Perhaps the answer lies not in words, but in the grandeur of creation, the intricacy of life, and the whirlwind that surrounds us. In Job 38, God's response transcends human comprehension. He speaks from the well-being of existence itself. The answer isn't about understanding every why. It's about trusting the one who orchestrates the cosmos. When we find ourselves asking, when will the breakthrough come? Let us remember Job's journey. Sometimes the answers to faith's questions lie beyond our grasp. They reside in the symphony of stars, the whisper of winds, and the resilience of the human spirit. And like Job, may we find solace in the mystery and surrender to the sovereignty of the divine.